So now, Happy New Year to all the good people out there. I thought I would do this video as the last video of the year. Um, Now, a few disclaimers because this is really a test thing. I'm more inclined towards action films, sci-fi, fantasy, thrillers, that kind of thing. So my list is not what everybody would take this as gospel. So it's a test thing. So don't feel a certain kind of way if a movie you liked is not here. Now, also, I've been trying to watch a lot of movies from all over the world. I'm very impressed with South Korea, for example, China, of course, but India. Hey, India. Hey, that thing of just inserting a music video in the middle of a movie. It takes me out of the story. I've watched a number of them. I think there's one called RRR that I thought had mad action, over the top. It was really entertaining, really nice. I think it won between some Oscars or something like that. But there's the singing in between there that I just can't get over. So no, there are no Indian movies here, but they are great movies for people who love movies like that. I've just not been able to get over that one. Okay, let's jump in. Hey, top 10 movies of 2023 according to me. Now, number 10 came in strong, Muvera. Vera is produced by David Anguka. It's a Kenyan film. Basically, it's based around the organ black market, organ transplant black market. David Anguka went hard there with all the actors and everybody. Crew tried very hard. And I liked the movie personally. I watched a bit later, but I do like the movie. I think it should be on other platforms this year for people to enjoy. So that is my number 10 pick. I have to insert a Kenyan film in here, and for me, this is the one that I thought can fit in here. Like I'm also giving it my vote as a Kenyan filmmaker. I would like to see our films push it to this level, and also, of course, it was our Grammys pick for Kenya. So there's that. Now, number 10. That's number 10. Number 9, Carmen, The Pope's Exorcist. Now, part of the genres that I like is horror, and although horrors do tend to be a bit monotonous and whatnot and kind of the same, but that's all really for other films. I really liked this one. Russell Crowe came in hard, and just the entire movie, it's an Exorcist movie. I don't really need to explain to you much. It's been around for a while, but I loved it. I loved the journey. I loved the character of Russell. Russell Crowe played. Yes. So that's my number 9 pick for 2023. Now, number 8 is a film called Sound of Freedom. Now, this film was produced some years back, but it was released this year. It's about the child trafficking and abuse in the US. Just how ridiculously rampant it is, and how, it is also a weird thing because I think it was owned by Warner or Disney or one of them, and they never released it. And this movie they spent, I think, 15 million or thereabout, and they made hundreds of millions. So I don't understand why they didn't release it. Maybe it's the subject matter, because here Hollywood people have been known for doing those weird things. Anyway, it's a great film. If you watch it, it will leave you with a mark. You'll appreciate what really goes out in this world, especially to our children. Yes, great movie in my opinion. Number 7, The Killer, assassination movie. Not assassination, what am I saying? It's a hitman movie. Planning how to assassinate people. It's the way it was handled, this one. So it's really showing now the perspective, preparation, and hows and the what of this particular contract killer, and the way he goes about it. It's really, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So it's also very, it's not one of those that there's action everywhere. It's actually, a lot of it is very psychological. It's very, like it just glues you on as you move on and you see what's going to happen. So catch that one also. I found it, I called it in number 7. Number 6, Extraction 2. You see, action. That's what I love. I'm sorry, that's what I love, but yeah. Extraction 2, of course, Chris Hemsworth. The first one I enjoyed thoroughly. Second one, same thing. So kind of carried on from this first movie and sequel to that. And to catch, I think it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix original. So you can catch there. Number 6. Yes. Now, number 5. It's called Megan. Yes? It's kind of like horror-ish, but it's like you get it's an android that had been built for as a companion. Somebody was building an android as a companion for kids or whatnot. Then it went rogue. I really enjoyed how that turned out. It's really, just watch it. I don't like to, like on these reviews, I'm just giving you a short synopsis of what it is, then you can go catch it. Megan will really, if you enjoy this kind of psychological thrillers also, you can really enjoy this one. It was a good film. Now, number 4. You got number 4? Yes. Now, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. Now, this is based on a video game. It's a video game or board game, something. Yeah, there's a video game, I think, and a board game. Yeah, so this was, full fantasy, sci-fi, not sci-fi, like fantasy, And it's really, like, it's entertained me heavily. It's funny moments, really ridiculous action scenes, really good. Those kind of, if you're in that world, these video game movies, this was a good one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. A lot of the times the adaptations aren't so good, but this one, inside. Now, Sisu. Hey, that is cinema. Hey. Sisu is an action film. So it's about this war veteran, the World War II, who was looking for gold, found gold, but he needed to transport the gold to the bank. But between where he got the gold and the bank, the Nazis, everybody. Now the Nazis were clearing out. It's like they're being chased now, but they are destroying everything. Met these Nazis, and then it was between them now how he solves the issue. Very, very gritty, action. I loved it. Gritty, just taking out the Nazis, and more so, it's just the character that they use, the actor. It's all like brawny and just no good person within this vicinity kind of character. I thoroughly enjoyed that film. The antagonist, one of the Nazi commander or general, whatever he was, really also like brought it out. Really, when you have a good antagonist, movies can go to another place. Now let's go top 2. Top 2, so for me, number 2 film was John Wick Chapter. Chapter 4 was, to me, the culmination of this franchise. It's extremely violent. I think there's a video I saw once where somebody was counting throughout the movie how many people John Wick killed in the movie. It was ridiculous. But you see, it's done. John Wick is old school, killed my dog, or my mother, or my father, or come for you, and then it spills over down to this world of assassins that you didn't know about, and it keeps on opening, and you're just following through. They never missed a beat. I think they wouldn't have done a better job the way they ended this. Yeah, so John Wick 4 is number 2 in my pick, and the top. The one kelele, top, Oppenheimer. Now, this is one of those films you call a cinema film. Like, it's big, it's about an historical event and how exactly the person who is responsible for the atom bomb, what was his mind like? What was he thinking? How did this affect him? And that entire scope of it was actually I thoroughly enjoyed Oppenheimer. I think you will too if you're a movie person, like you really want not just action, but this kind of drama that that really, like, they take it from an angle that you don't expect. Most of it, not like, okay, this happened, then they made this. No, just showing his life, showing the people how it got to be that they had to make these bombs because otherwise Hitler were going to take over or whatever. So there's a lot of good arguments made in it's really a good film, and I think it deserves my pick for number one film of 2023. Yes. Now, there are very many films. I've not even watched 5% of them, but I'll give honorable mentions to other films that I think deserve such an accolade. The Covenant, which I think it should be higher, but yeah, The Covenant really, actually, that film should have been top 10. Covenant is about, I think, is it Afghanistan? Or yes, that this American soldier was there, then was saved by this interpreter, then they had to leave, then the interpreter now is in danger, then this guy had to go back and basically get the guy, bring him to the US. It's how he did it and what went on through that. It's fantastic. I think it can replace Guardian of the Galaxy 3 because that movie is nice. The Three Musketeers, there's a new one. I think is it in Spanish or French? Throughout it's part 1, D'Artagnan. That one I watched. It's not translated, but I really enjoyed that. 2, we have Lady Bolas. So this is it's a comedy. You remember we used to have these comedies from Hollywood. It's a comedy based on this movement in the West where men want to play women's sports, so they call themselves transgender or whatever. Then they are being shooed in. Anyway, they're making it's a very big comedy about that particular phenomenon in the US, and the way they go about it is basically just making fun of it. This guy forms an all-male team that are calling themselves women, and they dominate, and there are lessons in there and whatnot. I think it's a very funny film. It's one of those nice popcorn films you can laugh, and especially if you know this culture was of the West. And then, of course, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. I really wanted to really be totally excited about, because I've loved basically all of them until this one was a meh. Okay, fine. It was a good action flick, but it did not give me anything different from what we had seen before. What was it? Fallout? Yeah. It didn't give me extra. And I think, but it is worth watching. It's worth it. So, yeah. Hey, I was trying to do this fast because I don't want the video to be too long, but I think it's going to be like 15 minutes. I would rather watch it or whatever. But 2023 has been interesting for Kenyan film. Let me just have a little last thing over here. Kenyan films, we've had an okay year. Most films are released in November and December. 1 or 2 are really good. The rest, that's my opinion. I'm just trying to be honest. I'm not trying to put anyone down. We have to give these disclaimers every time. So I do believe, though, that we will have more films this coming year. Ours, The Book of Ka, Cinematic Universe, Chapter 10, will be coming out this year. We are in full production. Today is when people are out. I'm actually I do these videos in the studio. I spend 95% of my time here because this Book of Ka, Cinematic Universe gonna come out 2024. Want to start off this sci-fi fantasy on a big, we've done short films. It's also go to 3dafrica.com on our channel. You'll see short films. We have one Book of Ka episode 1 there. That was for a series, but now we are doing a feature film. Yeah? So next year, Mambo Makali. Otherwise,
subscribe to Alboa Cinema.